Champagne.
So today we're going to talk about the book to movie Dr. Sleep by Stephen King. Yes!
Dr. Sleep.
The continuation.
But before we get started, what are we drinking today, Lynn?
We are drinking Apothic Red Blend. It's a bold red flavor, and that's my favorite. So thank you, Apothic.
Not too expensive, so it's for people like me. Great.
Drink on, players.
Oh my God.
I mean, sure.
It's good. All right. Dr. Sleep is by Stephen King.
Screenplay and director by Mike Flanagan.
Okay, great.
Yay. Got through it.
We're
We
accomplished.
got through it.
Okay. What y'all think? Long ass book. And movie.
I mean, the movie was 2.5 hours long. I mean, it needed to be, but
Yes, it did.
to accomplish all the things in the book. But at the same time, I was like, whew, I've been sitting here for a little while.
You can't get
I
up
gotta
and pee.
shift a little bit.
You say you had to shit.
Shift.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's an F in there. Yes, F in that word.
And chicken fingers.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
So I liked the movie.
Yeah.
I feel like they captured a lot of what's in the book.
I love the book.
But
I love the
for
book
the most
also.
part, it follows to. Listen, reading that book, it was so spooky to me because I'm not really into the scary movies,
spiritual
but that that book had me freaking out.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was.
But it
great.
prepared me for the movie because the movie didn't faze me as it relates to like just being scared. But I thought they did a good job, with the exception of the end.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
like
But
99% of it.
Right.
Like amazing.
It was not even 99%, you guys. It was more like 85%. Where's Grandma?
Grandma?
Yeah, Momo.
Mama.
Momo.
Mama was
Oh,
missing.
Mama.
She was missing.
Yeah.
I don't know why Dad ended up, they had to stab him.
Why did Daddy die?
Yeah. I don't know. To lead up to the ending, obviously he wouldn't have let his daughter go on to the Overlook and all these strange places,
It's because the entire movie changed after
I know,
that.
and
Like,
it had
that's
to.
just
It wouldn't
lost
have-
But he
me.
did in the book.
It didn't
He
have to, but
he
I'm
let
saying-
the daughter go to those
True.
places.
Why did he let the daughter go in the book? Because the doctor convinced him.
Exactly.
Where's the doctor?
The doctor was missing. Dr. John is gone also.
Yeah,
And I thought he was relevant. I
He was
think, to the
very
story.
relevant in the story. I was so upset. I was excited to see him.
I was
because
excited
he
to
looked
see Momo,
exactly
too.
like I thought he would look.
Right.
And then what happened?
And I was excited to see Momo.
And I was waiting to see the
excited
chink.
Yeah, the chink.
I know. Here we go.
You lost me. You lost me on that one.
And
Ray, I
cut.
was with you.
The chink.
I was with you.
You guys, the chink was the one who actually kidnapped him. It wasn't Chunk. He said chink. This is Stephen
Very
King.
good.
So I thought that Chunk kidnapped him and brought her to Crow.
Correct. But in the book,
Chunk.
his name was Chink. It wasn't Chunk.
No, chunk is what she thought because she wasn't sure.
Correct.
She said bury the chunk, but it was bury the chink.
Correct.
So it was the same person. They said in the book that he wasn't Asian. His eyes just was slanted, even though he was a
fat
white
and
man.
chunky.
Yeah.
No, the problem with me was because in all of our Stephen King readings, he uses some racist words and a lot of stereotypes. So that's why I assumed.
So you just went full on racist.
I just completed. I just figured, the other books were using the N-word. So that's what he was calling them. And so, yeah, why did they change it from bury the chunk, kidnapping her, to the other girl? Like, that was weird to me, too.
What other girl?
Andy, the snake bite.
Snake bite Andy.
She kidnapped the little girl?
She's the one who convinced him that
Put
he was...
the needle in her thing too, because it was supposed to be Crow to put her needle in her neck.
Yeah, because remember...
But she put the needle in the teddy bear.
Oh, that's right. She put in the teddy bear, but Crow really did put it in
Yeah,
the
Crow got to her. They just didn't show how he got there. Like, for me,
Right.
if I hadn't read the book, I'd been like, where'd that happen? How did he get there? Blah, 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 blah,
Which is why Billy
his
was there in the
intuition.
first place, but then Billy got shot, so...
Because Billy was supposed to
Billy
keep
was
an eye out.
Yeah.
It's just, see, it wasn't 95%. So
Well, I said 99, but we're going to go back to 85 then.
So, reading the book, and you know how they were talking about, like, they were writing on the board back and forth? Mm-hmm. I couldn't visualize, like, where that was. So, I loved how they displayed that in the movie. Like, they had the
Me
chalkboard,
too.
and the landlord was like, oh, he made this a chalkboard so he could do his math
Right.
stuff on the wall. And that's where they were writing back and forth. Because in the book, I'm like, is he in a classroom? Like,
Right,
what's going on?
I thought he was in a class. Like,
I assumed he was at the place where he was
Hospital?
working doing it.
I didn't. I couldn't
either.
visualize it at all.
visualize
So I
it
love
at
that they
all.
brought that to life for me.
I'm the same way. Yeah, I feel the same way.
I assumed it was like not like an actual wall. It was like writings on the wall that like he would see in his mind because she was too scared to like actually speak, and so it wasn't an actual person or an actual like contact is what I was assuming.
Right.
Yeah. So
That was a nice little switch for the family to be, interracial.
It was.
well, it was a switch for Stephen King, right?
Well, yeah, but he has. Well, yeah.
It's not what I envisioned at all. Abra was not who I thought she would be in my head, but I was
happy.
I was very, very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought she was a good one, but yeah, she was blonde in the book.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
she?
thick, long,
pretty
blonde hair.
blonde, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So she
I
was a
don't
pretty
remember
black
that.
girl. So
Yeah, she was.
But the baseball boy wasn't old enough. Like, wasn't he supposed to be in high school?
No, I thought it was Little League.
Little League.
he was Little League.
Oh, I thought he was supposed to be a high school baseball player.
He was Little League, but I could have sworn in the book like he had the baseball glove in his hand when he was buried.
I don't remember.
Well, he did. Well, they kept saying in the book that he was buried with his glove.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was cute. I love the scenes where they were demonstrating them, the out of body or into another body experiences.
I love that.
Those were so cool.
My favorite part of the movie was when Crow kidnapped Abra, and she was in the back seat, and she switched with Dan, and then her eyes color changed.
They
It
were
was like,
blue.
yeah, this feels
Like
it
Danny's.
feels like a hangover. He's looking like what would you know about a hangover? It was such a cute part of the movie. I really liked that
It was
part,
cute.
yeah.
It was
Definitely
very
agree.
cute. Absolutely nothing like the book, but it was cute.
Okay.
And the scene where she took over Rose and what was supposed to be Sam's, but they just made it super marked or something. That was awesome.
Yes.
Like, that was awesome.
it was.
And when her
It
hand
was.
got slammed in the drawer.
Yes.
Oh,
When she was going through the file.
Right.
Well, first when I turned around, she was sitting on the edge of the bed with that blue wig on, like no eyes.
Right.
And like creeping out Rose. And I was like, get her.
typical teen.
Exactly. And so once her hand was stuck and she saw that power exchange, I was just like taken back from it. And then when she pulled her hand out, it was gross. Loved
Right.
it. But to see her physically have that body struggle of like picking up her foot and trying to back away, but she still couldn't, loved that internal struggle.
I love that smile that they kept describing in the book, that little devilish smile that she had, and she had it at that moment, and I thought that was perfect.
She never did the swipe of the mouth though, and they never made the connection with Dad, Danny, and the mom.
Being actually
being-
relatives.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because
Yeah.
there was no Mama to have a conversation with. Like, that just all messed me all up.
Yeah, I was kind of looking forward to that part.
And he didn't get sick. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that I felt like was really relevant.
Because that's what I was lost on.
That's
when
why
he got
I
sick. When he got sick, why was he sick? Because he was all of a sudden better at the end of the book.
Because he sucked
But
in
her
Mama's
cancer, that's what I assumed. I wasn't sure.
and then spit it
Okay.
into the what's the name, so that killed her.
What?
Mind blown.
Told you.
What happened? What did you just say?
He sucked in Momo's cancer and held it in him, and it was inside of his tummy in the book. It was making him sicker and sicker and sicker, and then finally at the end he was able to blow it. Was it into Rose?
It must have been.
It was in one of them. I can't remember, but he blew it into one of them, and that's what killed everyone. Yeah, it was Rose because
Yeah.
she was the last one to die.
I don't remember any of that.
Yeah.
But,
And how about the connection? Can we rewind?
I thought his father kind of saved him at the end, like by pushing Rose or doing something. Remember, he kept saying there was a shadow that came out of somewhere?
Yeah, his father saved him in the end.
Okay.
In the book.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So.
Don't say ever never did anything for you.
Yeah.
I missed that.
But how about let's rewind the podcast back to The Shining.
Okay.
When we realized that his dad was there partying with those people, which is why he was in the picture, like I told y'all.
We all agree that he was in the picture. I'm not sure. That really wasn't the rabbit hole that you were going down.
Because you kept saying the 14th. But other than that, we did not disagree at all.
I'm just going to stay out of this.
But you know that's not what she was talking about in there.
She had a few different rants.
I think I said that he died and so he came back to life. That's maybe what I said. But either way, in the book, he was the father of this illegitimate daughter. And none of that came out. And that really upset me.
Right. So all of those connections, because even the purpose of her calling him Uncle Dan to only find out at the end that he really was her uncle. Like, what was the purpose of even calling him Uncle Dan?
I was thinking to myself, was all of that originally in what they recorded and then they started splicing it to make it shorter. Because when he and her were sitting, when Danny and Abra were sitting on the bench, and she said, Uncle Danny, and then he said, "Okay, that's a good one." She said, "Yeah," and it's half true. She said the same statement.
Yeah.
That she did in the book.
And then connected.
Because they were connected. And then they brought it back later to realize that's why they were connected.
It really was connection. I mean, he really was her uncle.
Correct.
Right. But
I say maybe Stephen King purposely left those things out because he wanted to have his people read the book, and like the certain points that don't connect fully in the movie. He wants, because the endings are different in both movies, Shining and Dr. Sleep. So maybe he's purposely doing that so that they stand alone. The books stand alone, the movies stand alone. And you have to read and watch both, or either, or whatever, to actually connect all of it.
It just bothers me when the book ends so well and they change it. Like, when you think about it had the worst ending on the face of this earth. And then you're like, they needed to change it for the movie, and they didn't do any really that much better. But like this one, the book, I loved the ending of the book. It was a happy ending. Daddy didn't die. He really was the uncle, and he grew up helping her learn how to use the shine. And we didn't get that.
But remember at the end of The Shining when you were like, I really want to know how they're going to bring back, what was his name? Was that Dick or Billy?
Dick Hallorann.
Yeah,
I
Dick.
was just about to get there and be like, so Treva, how do you feel about that? Because you were adamant about
He
how
did
Dick
die.
died.
I told y'all he died.
Yeah, you were right.
But he didn't die in the book.
I know. But you said, how is it going to be in Dr. Sleep if he's dead?
I know.
And now you know how
I
he
do
is.
like the way that they brought him back. Because I was wondering, because he was significant in Dr. Sleep. So yeah, they did a good job of making him a ghost.
I didn't necessarily like him as an actor. I know we were talking in the middle of the movie and probably upset the person beside me, but I was like, God, I didn't like him. Because the other guy sounds so country and he talked a little slang. And this guy was trying to use those same slang words, but it was too proper. And I couldn't get into...
I actually like him too. I got the shuck and jive from him.
Nah. He didn't have the shuck and jive. He was too proper in his speaking. And this, like, every other word was then some slang that didn't even go in the mix of, his dialogue.
My thing is, if because of the actor who played Dick Hallorann in The Shining, whatever reason he wasn't in this book, maybe he passed away or whatever, they couldn't have found a better replacement as far as the way he looked and the way he carried.
Oh, I agree.
They could not find a better person, I felt.
I had to rethink. I was like, wait, it can't be the same person. It's like 40 years apart.
So they had to do something. I think that was a good replacement.
Although there was a part of me that was kind of hoping that Jack Nicholson would make a little cameo.
Oh my God. The thing is, they
wanted
have so much CGI. They could have made him look younger.
They
and
could
still have been the movie.
Yeah.
So I was a little disappointed about that.
I was upset about it too. I was like, God dang it! But did they not want to pay him? I mean, because he is the man now compared to back
he
then.
was the shine. I mean, he is that movie.
Correct. So
so
you might have needed to pay me because I made you. I'm it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But I've seen him in smaller roles where he really didn't have significant parts. Just
so
kind of popped in and out of movies.
I mean, it was nice to give the other guy a chance, but
he did favor him though, so they picked a good replacement for the dad.
He almost reminded me of Jack Black. I was just like, no. I mean, even Jack Black would have did it a little
My
bit better.
thing is, so I love the fact that they incorporated so much of the original movie of Shining into Dr. Sleep. Like the hotel and all the stuff that he's seen, and everything was the same for the most part. So my issue is the flashbacks of Jack Torrance or whatever in the hotel. Why not use the original film?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it would have made it even more, because every other flashback of Jack or whatever, it was a different person. I did not like that. Because for me, it didn't look anything like Jack Nicholson when he was holding, he was with the axe and everything coming, him flashing back. I felt like they should have took clips from The Shining and put it in,
That's why I was wondering, did somebody not want to pay somebody?
Yeah.
Because you would have had to pay him for that too.
Just to use his,
Yeah, you got to pay him.
Which is fine. I'm sure it's less money than actually having him come on set. When we first started watching, I was thinking when the little boy was going down the hall, I was like, did they take the old movie and add more color to it and everything? Because I actually thought he was in that hotel and it was going to be him until he turned around. I was like,
He turned around and you were like, that's a little boy from Room.
That may have been me. I was like, it's Jack from Room.
No, that wasn't the one on the bicycle. That was the boy, the bad boy.
Yes,
that boy was Room.
I was lost.
That boy was Room.
Yeah, Bat Boy.
That's
The one that died. The little boy, I mean, he was okay, but I just feel like it was he was acting too much. Yeah. Like, it was just over the top acting. And I didn't like the mom at all. I mean, the other mom was like, you know, she was bad, but I just didn't like her.
The other mom.
I mean, I think she kind of favored and just was as bad as Wendy thought it. I feel like
but you know what? You know what? To me, I guess it just felt like they just found anybody and threw this black wig on her.
Maybe.
I mean, I feel the same way about the Shining.
I would have rather but I would have rather them just pick somebody anyway. I don't know why they tried so hard to match her when the little girl was not just how it was described in the book. I guess that's what's bothering me. If you were going to go to these lengths and change the family dynamic, you may as well have just made the woman just look like whoever.
I see your point.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Right.
I also see the point of them changing Danny, him riding through the hotel on his tricycle thing. I see why they changed that. And I wouldn't have wanted them to incorporate the Shining, him riding through the hotel, because they actually used him as little. They started out the movie as him being little, so they had to continue on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all they had to do was show the backside, because I was fooled until he turned around.
True.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
I was fooled until he turned around, and it was really cool until he turned around. I'm like, God dang it, that's not my boy.
Right.
Those twins,
because I love that little boy.
So those weren't old clips of the twins?
No.
Oh, because I thought that was an old clip.
But the twins,
I think they were shooting for that.
Yeah. And the twins, I don't think it would have been that big a deal anyway. I mean, they were kind of irrelevant. It was just the shadow of them in The Shining anyway.
Here we go, irrelevant.
Well, I tell you, up until they changed the end, I thought that this movie was just fabulous. Like, I was thinking, they nailed it.
They nailed it. I mean, every possible thing I could think of from the book at that moment, I'm like, y'all got it.
Exactly.
I love how they had that, like, heartbeat sound in the background. So it made you feel like you were kind of inside somebody else, like, shining. But then at the same time, it was silent besides the boom, 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 boom.
And then every got closer and closer. When she was flying in the air, it was like boom, 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 getting closer, boom, 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 boom.
It happened like, I saw it like 7 times. And it was, instead of doing that like ominous, weird music, they just decided to do like a speeding heart rate. And I loved that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. They did that outside of the Overlook when they got there too. Mm-hmm. And I felt my heart going the same beat. Exactly. And I'm like, what's gonna happen in the Overlook?
I think it's like an auditory response. Like, you hear it, so like your heart kind of just starts to match the sound of it, and then as it speeds up, you're like, oh, what's gonna happen? Yeah, I was.
Treva was waiting for the hedges and stuff to take over.
I figured since they blew it in The Shining, I was like, okay, we're back at the Overlook. We're gonna see some hedges come to life, and it didn't happen.
But the maze was cool.
Yeah, I'm glad they kept them. That was really good. Yeah.
I needed some hedges to kill somebody.
And we're back.
Right.
What is it with Stephen King and the naked old ladies? I mean, I don't know.
I really wanted that lady in the bathtub to do some walk-bys. Like,
stand up and dance in the shower or something.
Exactly. I really wanted her to do some. But I was cracking up.
I'm like in his drunken days, like, did he see his grandma or something? Because it's so funny to me.
Yeah. I like the fact that it was so many times that I couldn't visualize what I was reading, and this put it in perspective, kind of. Right. You know, it added some color to my thoughts, I guess.
The camp scenes were exactly how I imagined it. I mean, it was really good.
Rose was absolutely the person I thought Rose would look like.
She was
almost like a hippie-ish type vibe. And I was like, oh my God, they nailed it.
I actually loved her.
Yes.
I love Rose, but for some reason I pictured her a little older when I was reading the book. But she was spot on.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pictured her a little bit older.
I didn't because of the steam. Because I knew that makes them younger or whatever.
But they were all supposed to be having some problems with the disease. Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, did they have typhoid or something? But I couldn't remember what it was.
It was the measles, which is why they all died so quickly. Yeah. Which it was very... So that bothered me. Yeah, that bothered me too, because that was changed. Because you never really figured out why did Grandpa die.
Right.
Their grandpa. Why did he die?
They claim it was because they were running out of steam.
But they gave him something, so he should have been able to come right back.
Fine.
You're right.
So you're right, Lynn. Maybe there were some little things that you're like, why did that happen? I'm going to go back and read the book, you know? Mm-hmm. He is brilliant, so it could be what he was doing.
Yeah, I felt like the measles was the urgency behind them trying to get to Abra.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then like somebody died before they even got to Abra.
Yeah, it was I thought it was Grandpa Flick. Which one was stinking and smelled like poop the whole time in the book?
Yes.
I don't remember.
It's like it smells like death.
Yes.
What's wrong with him?
I don't remember. I remember that in the book, but I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, I thought it was Grandpa Flick, but it might not have been.
But somebody died on the way or something. Or cycled.
Yeah, cycled.
The cycling was the most awesome thing I've ever seen in my life.
What I imagined, though.
When you said I was going with my hands clenched, that's what it was. I was
you were cycling?
It was so good.
Yeah, I can't remember who died along the way, but yeah.
Did you guys find that you wanted to try some steam?
No, I don't want to be
after that baseball boy death scene, I didn't want to go near steam.
I was like, after the steam, them jokers were like, la 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 la. Like they were on some
or something.
Yes, I was like, I don't know. The steam looked like it might be fun.
Stupid.
I want some steam.
Get it at your local CVS.
Right, exactly.
I did want to say that the scene where they were killing the baseball boy in the book, it was bad. It was gruesome, but this one was gut wrenching.
Yeah,
I wanted to cry. He was like, "Are you gonna hurt me?" And when she was like, I was like, "Oh!"
I closed my eyes a couple times.
Yeah, I looked away.
That was
it was long. It was drawn out.
Yeah,
and suspenseful, and you kind of got a little like nauseated by watching this like grown woman stab a boy over and over again, and hearing him like wail out in pain. I was just like, this is not what I imagined. But it's awesome.
Yes,
he was so good.
Yeah, he's a great little actor, but that scene was not what I imagined.
Oh, I know.
It was
and she's
awesome.
Standing over him with this sweet motherly face. Oh yes. Is it gonna hurt?
Yes. And explained to him about the whole pain and fear and being scared.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're a heartless woman.
Right.
You know what else I thought was really good? The depiction of all of the boxes in Dan's head.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that was perfect.
Awesome.
So I actually envisioned one big box because he was like saying, you know, remember this box, feel it, all that thing. I was feeling the same box opening again, and like you just putting people inside of it. So I thought it was gonna be like a Jack in the Box, like it opens and everybody pops out, but this one was like coffins. Yeah. So I kind of like how that was like a body count for him.
But I kind of thought that because Hallorann did tell him once he gets familiar with this box that you're gonna have a lot of these boxes eventually. Y'all don't remember that in the book?
I don't remember him saying a lot of these boxes.
Boxes, right.
I would just remember him saying, like, this box, you need to remember every bit of it, smell it, everything. I don't remember that phrase particularly, but
I was just looking because I was listening.
I do like the fact that it was a lot of them though, because it corresponded with like the file systems in the head and
how many he had to put away.
Oh, yeah.
You know what
over
else?
the years.
You know what else I thought was really, really cool? I felt like I wanted like 4 or 5 more scenes every time he sat with the person that was supposed to pass him and the cat.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They talked about that in the book and how he got the name. So, but you're right. That was very
like I could have used like 4 more of those.
Yeah.
I actually agree.
So good.
And also would have like really driven home that part of Dr. Sleep.
Yes.
And how he got the name. It was touched upon. You understand it because of the 2 people that you saw pass. But if it would have done like 4 or 5 more, then you really would have felt what he was doing for others.
And I would have felt the pain from the urine because the movie was already long enough.
Right. You're right. It was so long they couldn't capture everything because the other thing that kind of tied it up in the end is the fact that he was struggling with the fact that he stole that money from that woman in the beginning with the baby. And so that was sort of his speech or the thing that he needed to come clean about at the AA meeting at the end of the book. And so they didn't even wrap that back around. I mean, I guess
But in the book, did he actually go and tell somebody they were there? Because remember when she came to him, she said, we're dying and no, we're dead and nobody's found us yet.
Who?
They said in the movie when his arm was there and like her face like the little like fly on her eye.
Right. She was saying we're dead and nobody has found us yet. And for some reason I was thinking in the book that somehow he made someone find them. Like that was his.
Well, they left out the whole Alba and her best friend scene too, so I'm thinking they just wrapped things up in like that's kind of summary.
That's true.
Yeah, they lost me on that one because I didn't even realize she was dead. I was like, why is this such a big deal?
I didn't know that she was dead either.
Yeah, they said it in the book.
They said it in the book that she died. That's why he felt so bad because literally he left that boy there with this mom and the drugs sitting everywhere.
So she was dead when he left?
No.
Oh, okay. So she died later? So it's not his fault?
It really wasn't his fault. I don't remember that in the movie.
I know maybe she did die there. Maybe that was the point that she did die there.
Because that would make more sense. I can see if he left her and didn't know when she was dead, but he rolled out, didn't care.
I took from it that she died. That she was actually dead
when he left her.
Yes.
Okay, and then he left the little boy. He picked the little boy up, set the little boy beside her, and handed him little crunchies. But because she said he died because I left him for so long.
Yes.
Oh, that was just
I didn't realize.
And he said, but I was like, and they haven't found us yet. That's why I was like, okay, so he needs to do something to come out to go tell somebody there's a dead kid and wife.
And I thought
he could have done that in his head.
I thought he winded that up at the end when he
did at the AA meeting.
The book. They didn't do that.
But I wanted him in the movie to just talk to somebody and say, go check this house or something.
I definitely agree. I just think that they decided to sum things up in different ways that I wasn't happy about, but I get why they did it because they had to really show those battle scenes between Rose and Abra. Like
they did need to show those scenes.
Yes.
Go ahead. Another thing that I'm kind of torn by. I'm like, did they not think the plan at the end all the way through once they his mind, all his boxes open and they went toward Rose? Did he not think that through? Like they're all literally turned and synchronized. Like, and you're next.
I
didn't think that through.
That's why when I said the ending was dumb. Like, come on.
Right.
All of this battling you do, you preparation, and you don't realize that these people are now going to come after you because you kind of had them locked up in your head for a minute.
Basically.
Yeah. Well, then even coming after Rose with the hatchet, like, how did she take it from you and beat you up?
Right.
Because she had all the strength.
Oh, she did. Because she took all that steam before she left.
He didn't realize how strong she was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Then I guess I give that one a pass. All right, so let's talk about the cast.
Love every single person in this movie.
But we already know that I didn't like. I did not like Dick Calloway at all. I didn't like Wendy.
You want to keep going on your list?
Everyone for me was fine. I was happy with all of them. Bill wasn't quite how he was described.
Billy?
Not Billy. A little bit. Yeah. He did.
Billy's whole character was changed. It just freaking drove me crazy. Like he's supposed to have a little shine in him. He didn't have nothing.
Well, I think that when they were digging up the body and he was talking about the deer and hunting, I think that was what the hint was about having a little bit of shine, but then they never acknowledged it.
Well, and he also says he has these feelings about people. Which he said in the book.
Yeah. But he said when Danny knocked on his door at 4:00 in the morning to tell him to come help him dig this body up, pretty much, he was like, I know you got a little bit of shine or whatever. He kind of acknowledged it then, too. So.
Yeah. But they didn't go in enough detail like they did in the book. Because in the book, he was actually in the truck and he was talking.
And he was older.
Okay.
Because that's how he tricked Rose in the end. Because he was supposed to take Abra in the truck.
Can you be audible?
I'm sorry.
And the Oscar goes to...
Dang it!
So dramatic.
So dramatic.
I just kept staring like, he's not old. He's not shining. He's not my Billy.
He's not shining.
You know who I pictured as Billy? What was the guy's name that was in that movie?
You want to narrow that one down?
Flying over the cuckoo's nest or something. You know, the crazy dude.
Jack Nicholson?
The cuckoo's nest.
I'm like, the show guy, Jack Nicholson. What's she talking about?
Wow,
Ram. The one that was, what's the guy's name that was after the mouse? And he was in the guy that died, and they were in jail.
The Green Mile. Please don't say the Green Mile.
Okay, so now I need to start my sentence over again. Yes.
On Sister Act. Yeah, that's okay.
I'm just mad at myself for knowing what with the mouse.
I pictured the guy.
And I'm like, she's Green Mile. And I'm like, oh my God, what is
Because that's how he talked.
I understood that.
Because that's how he talked. He was like, hey.
It still scares me that I understood it.
I'm just tired, boss.
That would have been a good bill.
You know what?
Billy. What's his name? Billy? What?
The
Green Mile.
See? Yes, see? Thank you, Stephen King. One more time.
Green Mile, Stephen King.
who I pictured as Billy.
Escape him.
Oh
That's who I pictured as Billy.
Oh, okay. Banjo. What is it? Was it JoJo? Banjo? Bojangle. Bojangle.
Are we getting off topic here?
No, because we're still talking Stephen King.
No, but I said one of his names, Bojangle, the Bojangle Man or something.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. I keep thinking
I thought he called the mouse Bojangle.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Bojangle was the mouse. Yeah.
That's how he was talking to Mr. Bojangle.
Yeah.
See, that's how Lynn knew who I was talking about.
Okay.
That's who I pictured as Billy. All of that to say that's who I pictured as Billy.
I can see that.
Go back and get him and do this over again.
Cooking up some turds. Okay. Sorry.
Alrighty. Okay, we want to get down to the rating of this book to movie adaptation.
While we drink our what?
Our Apothic Red Blend. That is in my price range. Thank you, Apothic.
Red like Stephen King's book. Ooh, wait, wrong.
Speaking of that, the scene where like all the blood comes out of the elevator, I like how they brought that back as she was walking through, feeling where Abra was. I like that they brought that back, which I really don't understand how blood rushes out like that, but whatever. They brought it back, and I like that. And then it
was the blood
of
all the bodies in the hotel.
While everybody else was terrified when they saw it, she was just like, "Oh yeah, I feel like a swim."
She's like, I like this place.
I'm home.
Exactly, but I like how they used that scene and brought it back.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're talking about rating.
And what do you think, Lynn?
Bad ride.
I don't want to start because Ray's looking at me like that.
I was trying to figure out where the blood come from. Is that from it?
No, it's from Shining.
What?
Oh yes. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Got it. All I could picture was the it in the blood coming out of the sink. So I'm sorry.
You're getting your Stephen Kings mixed up there, buddy.
No, I knew.
That means it's Stephen King break time.
Yeah.
I don't
see, after I landed the Green Mile, the Stephen King, I'm done.
You're welcome.
I did not know that.
Back to my rating. So it was hard for me because it didn't follow the end of the book, but I absolutely loved that movie. I was intrigued the whole time, captivated the whole time. So if we're gonna go with the fact that it said based on a Stephen King novel,
blah blah,
I'm gonna give it a long day at work.
Blah blah
and
blah.
And if you blah me one more time,
blah blah blah,
I will pour red
it's
blood over you while you're
or
sleeping.
the adaptation or the adoption.
I'm giving it a long day at work as well. I really wanted to give it a full glass, but I can't because I'm at the 85%. I'm very mad about the few things that I've mentioned during this podcast, and that's all I want to say.
Okay. Sorry, I'm going to give it a full glass. I like the book and the movie.
I'm going to give it a long day at work because I hated the ending, but I love the rest of the book, and I love the book, and I absolutely love the movie up until the end.
It was a great movie, though.
It really was a good movie. So everybody go see it. It's not getting a full bottle, but it still was a really good movie. Go check it out, and definitely take some time to read the book.
Yes. Yes. Read the book, especially if you feel a little confused. Read that book because it is a very long but very good book. It will freak you out.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Wakey. Okay, so check out our next podcast. You can check us out on Instagram at
We Watch Wine and Twitter, Facebook, We Watch Wine.
Follow, like, and subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Email us, WeWatchWine@gmail.
If you are a wine maker, we're looking for
You're a wine drinker. We need recommendations too.
Oh, I was looking for sponsors.